my name is Häusler, and I'm mixed Chinese-German. I'm an ex-financials trader. I studied economics in England, and I worked in the city in London. And now I'm the founder of Give and Take Lab, a teacher, a coach, a workshop facilitator, and a speaker as well. I wanted to share a little bit about my background. And why the work that I do around money and your personal and emotional relationship to it are so dear to my heart and important, I feel, to the work that's happening currently in the world. From a very young age, I remember one of my first memories looking at my mother paying with a credit card, and I just couldn't understand how the notes and coins could fit into this card. I remember I was questioning her, "Mom, what is this and how do these fit in there?" And I didn't feel satisfied with the answer. I remember being so intrigued about what money really is. I started realizing that decisions in life were being made because of money. You can do this or you can't do this, taking a bus or a taxi or living in this place. And that spontaneity was being killed because of this, for one way or the other. But also in my eyes, when I was young, it kind of felt like freedom. I could do what I wanted with it. And so I embarked on a journey as a financials trader. I ended up in London with a highly successful career, thinking that if I made this amount of money by this age, with all these ambitions, that I would be happy and that would be my freedom. But I found myself extremely unhappy, almost, not connected to life, I would say. And I embarked on a spiritual journey. I searched the world. I went from east to west, from Asia and India into Southeast Asia, following courses and teachers, to the US, Brazil, South America. I crisscrossed the world many times, really in search for what the meaning of life is, what is beyond what I knew at that time. And by synchronicity, I ended up at Schumacher College, a college in the UK in Devon. And I ended up doing a master's in economics for transition, a new way of economics in the world. And it shook my paradigms. It allowed me as well to bridge the life as a financials trader with everything I'd learned on a spiritual path. It built the bridges for different understanding for me to find a way of bringing my values into what I was doing, merging economics with a new way of living. And as part of my thesis, I ended up in a spiritual community in Brazil called Piracanga, the biggest intentional community there. And it was when I arrived, I think 2 days before, the person who was taking care of finances and the economic system left, and the community decided the day before in the first economic meeting they wanted their own community currency. And I arrived 2 months before my thesis was due, and we ended up agreeing that I'd stay with the community and work with them to develop the community currency called inquiries, which until today, 2 years later, are going very strong, with the community flourishing, projects opening, and even Itacaré, the town nearby, accepting the inquiries now. But during this process of developing this currency, I realized that we couldn't change the outside system without looking within. We can change maybe the paper or what people are dealing with, but really it was the inside projections that determined what we do with this energy, how we deal with money. And so the work I'm doing now was born during this time. I've led a few hundred people through it. The workshop developed from half a day to a day, and now I do one-day immersions as well as coaching and online workshops. And it's to dive deeper into your personal and emotional relationship to money, for you to really find out what this energy means to you and how you relate to it. Instead of blaming the outside world, taking responsibility on how we act and associate to it. I see money as a neutral energy, yet it can be used for higher values such as joy, freedom and peace in life, to make our life really much more easy and flowing. Or it can be used for lower values such as fear, greed, scarcity, and keep us caged into certain ways of living and a life. So the work I really do is to bring us back to our purpose and to look at life and money in a new way, exploring what abundance can really mean. When we look at money, it was initially created, I would say, as one story would say, as a means of exchange. So it facilitated the exchange between people. When we moved to cities and we grew as communities, we couldn't barter anymore. And so we used money to be able to exchange different goods and services. But over time, as this grew, I think the use of it has been, one could say, distorted or used for different values now. And I'm inviting us to bring us back to relating to money in that way, to bringing it back into flow in our lives. Thank you for taking the time to watch the video. If you would like to know more about my work, you can follow me on social media, Mara Michelle Häusler, and the website for Give and Take Lab is givetakelab.com. I look forward to meeting and hopefully working together and exploring what money really is.